Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. It is another new news roundup video that we've got in store for you today. It is gonna be a mad one because we've got stories featuring Kylian Mbappe, Cristiano Ronaldo, very briefly. We've got Aaron Ramsdale's situation as that takes seemingly another development possibly. And we've also got some new contracts and other transfers to discuss in a quick fire sort of roundup of the past 24 hours or so of the transfer window. But before we go any further, as always, I'd like to remind you, please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and forever be greatly appreciated. But for now, let's get back talking about all the new news and all the biggest headlines from the world of football within the past 24 hours or so, beginning with PSG's Kylian Mbappe. Yes, we are beginning with PSG. We're beginning with France's wonder kid. We are beginning with the one and only, the man known as Kylian Mbappe. And this story revolves around him for the past 24 hours, and it is a very, very interesting one at that. Because yesterday, reports came out that allegedly Mbappe had met with PSG's president to discuss his future, and reports have gone on to suggest that he seems to have his heart set on leaving PSG this summer, and even Lionel Messi's arrival at Paris, at PSG, hasn't changed his mind on that. Now, this is a growing story. We all wanted to see the Mbappe, Messi and Neymar partnership. We can throw Di Maria in there if you like. We all wanted to see that kind of partnership develop over the season at PSG and in terms of the Champions League as well. We're all intrigued to see how this works because that is a very frightening prospect to face regardless of who you are as a defender. But it seems to be fading before our very eyes. That very image seems to be fading before our very eyes if these reports are to be believed and Mbappe does want to leave this summer. It's being said that PSG, though, are confident that they'll manage to keep Mbappe for at least the final year of his current contract and then see where everything lies from there. But it's being said that Mbappe himself expects PSG to possibly sort out a move for him very soon. So kind of conflicting reports there. And typically it's Real Madrid, a club that have been linked with Mbappe's name for some time now. That appears to be Mbappe's likely next destination for playing football if a move is to transpire this season or maybe even next season when Mbappe is allowed to leave on a free transfer anyway. Now, to me, this is a little strange on the Mbappe story because this story over the summer went kind of cold. It was kind of hot before the summer and then it went kind of cold over the summer and other things kind of went to the forefront a little bit in terms of the transfer situation. A certain player named Lionel Messi, for example, or Harry Kane. But then over the past couple of days or so, this story has really sprung into life. Even with PSG signing Lionel Messi and everybody watering at the mouth to see the Messi and Neymar link up again. And like I said, you throw Di Maria in there, you throw Mbappe, of course. Everybody wants us to see that. It's what everybody wants us to see as a football fan. And probably defenders don't want to see that because they're kind of scared of that. And that is kind of, like I say, a frightening prospect. But it is kind of understandable if PSG do eventually cave into Mbappe's demands. Let's face it, Mbappe is entering into the final year of his contract with PSG. And, you know, it doesn't look like he's going to obviously re-sign with the club. Obviously, stranger things have happened. There's plenty of time for a U-turn to happen for Mbappe. But it doesn't look like that will be the case. And PSG themselves may look to obviously cash in on Mbappe whilst they still have the chance. Do Real Madrid have the money themselves to sign Mbappe this summer? We know about their financial issues, but I genuinely think there may be something behind this story that is genuine truth. And that they may actually be able to get the money together and possibly go on to make a monumental wave in this transfer window by signing the Frenchman. And, you know, no disrespect to anyone in La Liga, but both Real Madrid and the Spanish League will then acquire a big marquee name. Not as big as the one they've lost this summer, but a big one for the present and the future nonetheless. And I will say this, just because it's worth throwing out there, and I am a Liverpool fan, it's just another layer to add to this story. It's been repeatedly mentioned time and time again whenever Mbappe's name has been thrown about. But Liverpool's supposed interest in Mbappe, of course, is something that I would love to see intensify. I would love to obviously see Mbappe in a Liverpool shirt. I'd be an idiot not to want that, but with how FSG do business and with the possible wages situation that Mbappe would demand, I highly doubt that we will see Liverpool going for Mbappe at all, maybe, at least in the very near future at least. But stranger things, of course, have happened. Regardless, this is certainly one story to keep your eye on going forward. This could simply be a madness going forward in a transfer window that has been utterly insane so far. Kylian Mbappe might be leaving PSG this summer. I'll briefly touch upon the next part of the story. This kind of follows on from the Mbappe situation. It revolves around Cristiano Ronaldo. I've made a video going into a bit more detail and a bit more about my comments and thoughts on the Cristiano Ronaldo situation that has emerged over the past 24 hours or so about the Portuguese superstar. So if you want, please go check that out. That'd be really appreciated and I'll be really grateful for that. But basically, I'll just speak about it briefly. Mbappe's situation yesterday sparked stories of Ronaldo possibly heading to Paris to be his likely replacement, and the thoughts of Ronaldo linking up with Lionel Messi were phenomenal sights to imagine. The rumours got watered down a little bit as the day wore on, but what emerged after and late on in the night were very intriguing. A close friend of Ronaldo's has come out and claimed that both Real Madrid and Carlo Ancelotti are very interested in bringing the Portuguese superstar back to the Spanish Giants this summer. This already mad and bizarre transfer window may be set to take another turn before its closure at the end of the month. But for more on this story, like I say, for more of my thoughts and comments on this story, check out the video that I made earlier today regarding this potential news story regarding Cristiano Ronaldo leaving Juventus and possibly going to Real Madrid. Next, we come to a story that isn't, well, clearly isn't on the same level as an Mbappe or a Ronaldo. It's been a story that's been on again, off again this summer, a bit hit and miss here and there, hot and cold, and it revolves around Aaron Ramsdale of Sheffield United possibly moving to Arsenal. We spoke a bit about this previously in previous videos about how bizarre and how weird this transfer story is, and how Sheffield United have set a price tag for the goalkeeper and they aren't budging or moving on that price tag. They're remaining firm and resilient over it and have rejected already a couple of bids allegedly from the Gunners for him. And then reports stated that Arsenal had ended their interest in the goalkeeper. But now, today, it appears that Arsenal may be set to reignite their interest in him and are preparing another bid for the 23-year-old. It's being said that Arsenal are looking to make 2 or 3 new acquisitions to their squad before the transfer window closes, and that Ramsdale may be one of them. Rumours are Arsenal are preparing a bid of an upfront fee of £28 million and then plus some add-ons for the 23-year-old. But we wait and see what actually happens and if anything does come about of this. I previously stated, I don't get this deal. I don't understand why Arsenal would go after a particular goalkeeper like this at this calibre. But surely there's better goalkeepers out there for a very similar price or for an even smaller price, because the fee is, to me at least, a pretty large one that he's probably not worth, with all due respect. Regardless, Arsenal are looking to make more moves in this transfer window and will be a club to watch as the clock ticks down to the closure of this summer's window. Next, we come to some quick fire rumours, quick fire contract renewals and some quick fire transfers. First up, Juventus and Sassuolo are to strike up a deal for Manuel Locatelli this week. This is all according to Fabrizio Romano, who has stated on Twitter that Juventus are ready to submit a final bid to Sassuolo in order to sign Manuel Locatelli this week. The agreement is set to be reached for €35 million. Deal structure still not completed. Final details to be sorted out, blah, blah, blah. Arsenal are out of the race. Locatelli only wants Juventus. The midfielder certainly is impressed for his country during Italy's triumphant European Championships this past summer, and from there, of course, it wasn't going to be long before the rumours of his future began to swirl and be called into question. But if Romano is correct, and let's face it, when it comes to Serie A in particular, he definitely seems to be the man in the know, particularly in that league and in that country, then Juventus may very well soon add the 23-year-old to their ranks, to their squad. Our next story involves Thibaut Courtois. Yesterday, his club Real Madrid came out and stated that the Belgian goalkeeper has signed a new long-term deal with the Spanish Giants, keeping him at Madrid until 2026. Obviously, a lot has been said about Real Madrid over the past 24 to 48 hours or so in regards to possible future transfer activity. But what we do know is that Courtois has signed a new contract, and it looks like Madrid are going to try and get Karim Benzema, their French striker, to follow suit with a new contract renewal himself. It's reportedly stated that Madrid have offered the 33-year-old a contract till 2023, and we wait and see if that comes to fruition or not, and whether or not the French striker will sign it. Next up, Liverpool centre-back Ben Davies has joined Sheffield United on loan. Unfortunate for him, really, because you remember when he came into Liverpool, he came in January, of course, during right in the middle of Liverpool's injury crisis that heavily impacted the centre-back area in particular. And I guess he was seen by Jurgen Klopp as just not being ready to play during that time. I think he also picked up a couple of minor injuries right at the beginning of when he first arrived at the club. And it didn't help matters that Liverpool went out straight after signing him and also secured the loan signing of Ozan Kabak at the same time, in which Kabak played, Ben Davies didn't. But he's back in the Championship. He's going to be playing for Sheffield United this season, and surely he will gain more playing time down in the Championship for the Blades. And it just seems like it's a win-win situation for everybody involved. Our next story features Michy Batshuayi of Chelsea. He is close to securing another loan move for himself again this season, and it's the Turkish club Besiktas, where he seems is likely next destination. Become a bit of a forgotten man at Stamford Bridge, but certainly for me anyway, because I personally forgot he was still at Chelsea. He's secured that many loan moves during his time with the Blues that I thought that one of them moves was possibly a permanent one, so it came as a bit of a surprise to me when I was reading this story that he was still actually tied down to Chelsea. But it is certainly because of the amount of loan moves that he secured during his time there. And now it appears he's secured another loan move for him, and this time it is to Turkish club Besiktas. Considering that Tammy Abraham has left for Roma, considering that Timo Werner and new signing Romelu Lukaku are ahead of the Belgian in the striker pecking order, so to speak, at Chelsea, it's easy to see why this move is happening. I'm a little bit surprised that it's not a permanent one, but I guess a loan move kind of suited both clubs again, and was the only move that could be sorted out. So Michy Batshuayi is again on the move this season. And speaking of Tammy Abraham, he features in our final story today, as it is now official that he has secured his move away from Stamford Bridge to join Jose Mourinho's Roma. We've talked about this story a few times over the summer already, talking about the developments that have happened with this story, and it can now finally be laid to rest. It is finally confirmed and official that he's switched London for Rome for a £34 million move and has signed a 5-year deal in the process. I spoke about Abraham in previous videos, so please go and check them out as well if you want more of my thoughts and comments on this particular story. But I will reiterate here that I am intrigued to see the relationship develop between him and Jose Mourinho, and it will be interesting to see whether Abraham can rediscover his form and continue to progress in his career over in Serie A, over in Italy. But of course, as I always say, these are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of any of the news stories that I've covered in this video? What do you make of the Kylian Mbappe situation? What do you make of the Cristiano Ronaldo situation? What do you make of Aaron Ramsdale possibly going to Arsenal and Arsenal reigniting their interest there? And what do you make of any of the other stories and contract renewals, transfer rumours, transfers themselves that I've talked about in this video? I'd love to know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, whatever you want to call it, on any of the stories that I've talked about down below in the comment section, because I'm sure they'll all make for interesting reading. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch, this has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see and speak with you all again soon in another video.